All right, so we're going to be starting off, of course, making our mold. Some of the things we're going to need today are cardboard, packing tape, some badly drawn scissors, and a marking pen. Also, a ruler would help with the measuring. So first we're going to take our cardboard and we're going to cut a 21 by 16 inch rectangle. Then we're going to measure 3 inches in from each side, marking it with our pen. Now each of these sides that we've just marked, we're going to score with our box cutter or knife so we don't cut completely through the cardboard. The corners we are going to completely remove. Then I need to find the center of the rectangle. That's where we're going to put our large circle. Then I'm going to measure in 1 inch from each corner to put my smaller circles. So I also need to cut out of cardboard 6 4.25 inch wide circles and 24 3/4 inch wide circles. From there, I'm going to stack up the 6 large circles to create a cylinder, which I will then cover in packing tape. I will do the same with the small circles, creating 4 separate cylinders that will be placed in the places we marked earlier. All right, we're gonna just slap some packing tape over that. That's cardboard that we cut out. It's gonna create a nice slick surface that the cement will not stick to. All right, now we're going to be taking those flaps that we created and we're going to be putting them at a 90-degree angle and taping them to each other to create the edges of our mold, creating a nice box. And now we have our beautiful finished mold. So today we're going to be using our sand topping cement by Quikrete. We're not going to need very much. This is a 60-pound bag, but I think in total we're going to need 5 pounds at the max. Now, from what I have found is when you are using sand topping cement, depending on the thickness, you will need an acrylic fortifier. I will be using Quikrete acrylic fortifier to strengthen our cement, since it's going to be a thin pour. So I'm going to get approximately 5 pounds of concrete to half a cup of acrylic fortifier. That's about half a cup. Also, let's oil up our mold we made first to make sure we get a nice quick release at the end. So I'm just dipping my paintbrush into this oil and I'm gonna go do all around the inside of my mold. Now you can see that I have made this out of cardboard, and if you look, all over it is packing tape. That is to seal the water out so that the concrete won't destroy the cardboard as it begins to dry and the water starts to seep out. Now we want to go ahead and put on our rubber gloves. There are many ways to mix concrete. People use blenders and things like that. I personally like to just use it with my hands, especially with this small of an amount. I'm gonna grab my water and my little cup here. I'm gonna start putting some water in. Working with concrete, I like to do a little bit of it at a time because there's a specific texture that you want it to have. You don't want it to get too wet or it will increase the amount of shrinkage you have once it dries. So as you can see, I'm just kind of smushing it together, making sure that that acrylic fortifier as well as the water is getting nice and dispersed throughout it. You don't want any dry clumps messing up our project. I'm going to add a little bit more water. We're almost there. That should be plenty. Beautiful. We're going to put it on in there. Now we're going to be a little careful and try not to get it on top of our little pieces to begin with. We're just going to put it in there. I'm just going to smooth it out. All right, so now that we have our mold filled and we tapped it out to get it as smooth as we can, we're gonna let it sit for at least 24 hours before removing our mold. Looks like it's been a bit over 24 hours and we're ready to uncast our beautiful slab right here. You see that? Nice and hard. Awesome. So we're gonna grab our box cutter. And this should be very easy. As you can see, when I pull it away, it's really not sticking. But for safety's sake, we don't want to accidentally break anything. We're just gonna cut the sides off with our box cutter. Beautiful. Now we're gonna take it. We're gonna very carefully flip it over. Just come on out. There we go. Well, the center is out. Let's get our other pieces out as well. Da 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 da. Just gonna push them out of the bottom. As you can see from oiling it up, it slides out pretty easily. It looks like this one's gonna be a little harder. Bam. One more. There we go. So now we're just gonna sand up our top and get it a little more smooth, and we'll be ready to start our next step. All right, now that we have our sanded down slab, we're gonna start our next step. So our next step is gonna be creating what we're gonna use to hang it. So as I took 10 feet of cotton rope. If you're gonna hang this outside, you're probably gonna end up wanting jute. It's gonna last longer and be stronger. But since we're going for aesthetic, we're gonna use this beautiful cotton rope that we have. So I'm using some macrame cord, and as you can see, I've already wrapped it around to create my loop. Now the way I did this, I created a loop going this way so that now I can pull the extra rope. See, we pulled it through, and now we're gonna snip it off at the top. Right. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get in there. Boom. Look at that. Nice and sturdy and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be splitting these off. I'm gonna be putting them through the hole that we made. So we're gonna pull through. Make sure this is nice and even. Actually, I need more. I'm gonna make our first knot. There we go. Now, when you make your knot, you should hold through. All right, so we got all of our plants potted. As you can see, we used a variety of different succulents. We got some string of pearls, some jade plant, and a couple other guys in there. This is our beautiful terracotta pot that we did a nice dip design on. So we just took the pot and we dipped it into paint, and there we go. All right, so if you're short like me, you have to use this ladder. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up our ladder with our beautiful hanging guy right here. Now you don't have to do this use this outside. You can also use this indoors if you have like a nice arm and you can hang it, or you can even hang it from the ceiling. Really, you can adjust the rope however you would like for whatever situation you're in. That's what I like about this project so much. If I wanted it to be multiple pots, I could have changed it and done it so there were multiple pots, holes to put the pot in. Look at that. It goes right in there. Beautiful. Got a little bit hanging out of the bottom. Isn't that cute? And there we are.